My name is Muhammad Radwan. I'm a senior LM consultant at Marvel LM. This video part of publishing my old videos on our new community.
Okay, I will take a snapshot before installing the TFS. As we can see here, it's percentage of completion. Okay, now it succeed. I insert the media. And start installing TFS Express. So now this is a configuration center of Team Foundation Server Express. We can use this new server configuration wizard to configure the source control, work item, build service, and installing SQL Express too. And we can use this configuring Team Foundation build service if we want to configure a build service on this machine. Or maybe we want to configure a build server or build service on a different machine. So we will use this configuration in this case. Okay, let's using new server wizard. Just telling me that Team Foundation server will install and the SQL Express will be automatically installed, and here is the port. Okay, we can click next or verify first, and the next is verify, but the next is once it's verified it's installed directly, but you can verify first before you install if you want just to verify and then install. Okay, sorry, if you want verify and then configure, and I configure. Start now configuring. As we can see now we finish. So this is the address of the TFS. This is not a web application, but it's, as we know, or for your information, the TFS working on the IIS, so this is the address that will be used to connect to the TFS. Let's close. So now, as we can see, the build service not installed yet, because build service and other components of the TFS like lab management and most of the components need the TFS service installed and configured before we can configure other service, because the configuration will be on the default collection or the collection, so we need to install and configure TFS service before the build and lab management it can be worked. So let's start the wizard. So the first thing is asking me where is the collection that we want to configure the build service for. So I just right click here. So as we can see, just observing the current collection. If we go to the build service, it will asking me use the default settings, how many agents I want to installed. It's depend on the number of cores I have. So if I have 4 cores, it will show me that I can have 4 agents, and so on and so forth. So it is recommended to keep separate build agent from intensive processing on a different machine. So let's work with the default as a 1 agent, and here is the account. We will use the default account as a local services. In an enterprise installation it is better that we configure service account for each services. And for more information, you can see an enterprise installation and configuration guide for TFS 2010, and this is a huge guide that has about 90 videos how to install TFS 2010 in enterprise configuration and how to create the service accounts and configure all a complex installation. But this is of course a simple installation. So we'll click service, next, let's configure. Now it succeed, next. So now as we can see, now we closed installing the TFS and configure, and then installing and configure TFS build service. This is the Team Foundation Server Administration Console. Now we can see here the application tier, so we can here change the account, manage the settings here, adding more admin to the administration console if we want. Go to the team project collection here, so we can create a new project, attach or deattach collection status, and here's the team project. Lab management if you want to configure lab management, and here is the build. We can see here that the build is running green. This is the build controller, and we have only one build agent. Here is the log. So now the TFS Express is installed. I will install Team Explorer so we can create a new project and start to connect to it. Okay, I will insert the media. Okay, I will choose I agree. It's better to join the customer experience. Install. So just launch the Team Explorer. So now the Team Explorer is launched, so we can start connecting to Team Foundation server. As we can see here, I will create new team project called TFS-EG. Okay, now the project finished. I will go and open the web access. When I installed the Windows, I didn't create a password for my account, but this will prevent me from accessing the web access. So I go to computer management and start giving my account a password so I can access this. So as we can see, here is the web access of our project, and we can go to work. And if any one of you saw the team web access for the TFS, normal TFS, not the Express, he will notice that the team web access here is missed two new feature introduced in TFS, which are backlog and task board, which is very powerful tools. But this, because a TFS Express as a free edition, it doesn't has these features. So after all, now we have a TFS Express installed. We can work with SharePoint, we working with SQL Express. We didn't have task board or backlog, but we have most of the TFS Express functionality, source control, web access, and build. And I think that most of the small teams need.